Let that light of joy shine in your life all the time. Oh, let that light of joy, let that light of joy, let that light of joy shine in your life.
Well, this is the middle Sunday of our Lenten season. And if you join me in my call to fast from negative thinking, then you've had a journey much like mine. Oh, there it is again. There it is again. Oh, there it is again. But I'm giving less and less time to the negative thinking and just accepting negative thoughts are going to happen. So, tools help for handling those aspects of our life. So today's talk, surrender and know the truth. Now, the surrender I'm going to be talking about is not that wave the white flag surrender. It's the surrender that comes from our spiritual sense. And I've turned to the wisdom of Dr. Paul. Now, Dr. Paul and Max Oliger were a wonderful couple. Now, in a past life, Owen and I had an audio and video production company. And we traveled the world and recorded great speakers in recovery. And we did club meds and cruises and land tours, and then we distributed those on cassette tapes. You remember cassette tapes? Yeah, so it's been a little while. Well, Dr. Paul was one of the gifted contributors of a story to the AA Big Book. In the 4th edition, that's on page 417, and on the 3rd edition, it's page 449. But today we'll turn to the 417 because I want to read this great passage on acceptance. And acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. When I'm disturbed, it's because I find some person, place, thing, or situation, some fact of my life unacceptable to me. And I can find no serenity until I can accept that person, place, thing, or situation as being exactly the way it's supposed to be at this moment. Nothing, absolutely nothing, happens in God's world by mistake. Until I could accept my alcoholism, I could not stay sober. Unless I accept life on life's terms, I cannot be happy. I need to concentrate not so much on what needs to be changed in the world as on what needs to be changed in me and in my attitudes. Wise words. Now, Dr. Paul had a wonderful expression that he said on regular frequency. I'm going to clean it up for church. If you don't have a good day, it's your own darn fault. And that's a wonderful way for us to remember that we get to have it any way we want. Now I turn to Reverend Ken Daigle. He's a minister out in San Francisco and a great friend of mine, and he says this: true surrender is the ability to acknowledge the reality you're living in, and from that point of acceptance, to begin to move out of it. Ever find yourself stuck? Ever find yourself bemoaning the fact that something's happening that you can't tolerate? This is the key that unlocks the door to something new. Surrender. Richard and Mary Alice Jaffola were Unity ministers, and they wrote some powerful books. they bring this very important point to this idea. If we didn't have the power to reject and renunciate unwanted, undesirable, no longer useful ideas, beliefs, and attitudes from our consciousness, we would never develop to our full potential. Thank God. Thank God that we have the power to let go of the shame, the doubt, the lack, the fear, the criticism, the judgment, any of those shadow negative feelings that have a tendency to stop us in our tracks, that don't allow us to progress to something better. And there's one aspect of that that's very important. And I turn to the work of Byron Katie, who has made it her life work to help people see that arguing with what reality is going to cause us a whole bunch of pain. So love what is. That's the title of her book. She says the only time we suffer is when we believe a thought that argues with what is. She says that all pain is a result of us not being able to accept reality. So, Dr. Paul, living in his alcoholism, if he's stuck in that alcoholism, he couldn't find any recovery until he could accept that reality. But if you argue with it, you can dance with a negative issue in your life over and over and over and, shall I say, over again? It's exhausting, it's painful, and it hurts. Eckhart Tolle, a powerful writer in our time and age, he says, always say yes to the present moment. Surrender to what is. Say yes to life and see how life suddenly starts working for you rather than against you. Say yes. Go ahead. Say yes. Yes. Feels good. Say it again. Yes. You can feel the vibration difference. So if you're feeling stuck, or you look down and you go, wow, I'm standing in the mud. Say, I'm standing in the mud. Yes. And then do something about it. And trust me, we're not going to need to surrender our grace if we're having bliss and joy and love and comfort. We're not going to need to surrender that. What do we need to surrender? Doubt, pain, anger, shame, any of those negative feelings, which are part of the tapestry of our life. And when I made that call to not focus on negative energy, boy, did the negative thoughts come up in my life. And sometimes really cloaked. It's like, oh, that's just an observation. AKA judgment, criticism. Making my life miserable. But who's making my life miserable? Me. Me, myself, and I. I turn back to Dr. Paul, who says an acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. If every problem in your life could be resolved by accepting what is, all of your problems would melt away, making a way to something different. I was standing in the mud, now I'm not. I was drinking compulsively, now I'm not. I was feeling very angry and resentful about their way of speaking ever so loudly in my presence, and now I'm not. It's an attitude adjustment. And if I don't have a good day, it's my own darn fault. I turn back again to Eckhart Tolle. This is very important. It does not mean to passively put up with whatever situation you find yourself in and do nothing about it, nor does it mean to cease making plans or initiate positive action. Often the troubles in our life are not going to be relieved instantaneously. Oh, I don't have enough money to pay rent this month. Uh-oh, problem. It's not going to happen overnight unless I go out to my mailbox and I've won the lottery. But I can take steps. Oh, maybe if I got a job. Details. We can do things that will take us out of where we're stuck. And we're on that hamster wheel. We don't have to say, I'm always going to be on this hamster wheel. I'm always stuck in this ism. We can do what we need to do, and then it's ours to do the work, to take the steps that lead us to a new way of being. I turn back to Ken Daigle as he sums up what this is really talking about. Until there is surrender to what is, you are trapped by your own resistance. Change your belief that you can fight reality. That's in a nutshell. That our lives don't need to be stuck in the hamster wheel of some issue or some problem in our life. Because as soon as we accept, oh, I've got pain. I'm in struggle. I'm not feeling very secure right now. As soon as I stop arguing with that truth, the door of a new possibility is open to me. So, what are the steps for surrender? There are 3. This first step is let go. Let go of the belief that you're always going to be stuck, that you're always going to be angry, that you're always going to be unhappy or in pain. And then accept what is. Today I can't pay the rent. Accept my alcoholism. Accept my loneliness. Accept my diagnosis. Whatever it is, we come into acceptance. No longer arguing with reality, boxing with reality. And then step into faith. We often don't know where we're going to go to move from that place where we were stuck. But we'll take a step. And then we'll take another step. And the steps will guide us to a new arena. Perhaps new people, or new regimen, a new medication, a new job, a new partner, a new opportunity that's not what the old was. And what's true is, since we're the ones living this life, we can choose any time. And it's possible that all of our problems are simply not accepting what is. choose anew. Let go. Accept what is. And step out in faith. Let's take that into meditation.
Go within to the one inside. Go within. Let it be your guide. Go within. Touch the truth. Go within. Know it's you. Go within to the place that's still. Go within. Let that be your will. Go within to the one inside. Go within. Let it be your guide.
Take a deep breath. And silently say to yourself, yes. As the daily word called us to take time to rest. We can observe the Sabbath at any time. And we do it by saying yes to rest. As we breathe deeply, we find ourselves comfortable, safe, renewed, hopeful, and ready. Ready to allow our Christ consciousness, that indwelling essence of our divine nature, to inform us, to make us ready for new opportunity in any place where we have negative thought, where any place where we're experiencing pain, anywhere where we're arguing with reality. We can always come home to this now moment. So let's take this time by observing a moment of silence, letting peace be our guide. We are so grateful for this connection with this peace in our life. This peace passes all understanding. And we're just so grateful for our Christ consciousness. This divine nature that unfolds the perfect aspect of truth. That in the moment we can and will receive peace, healing, renewal, strength, and abundance. This is the value of having Sabbath. To come home. And as we bring this meditation to a close, let's make sure to express and feel our gratitude for this peace, for this understanding, that we can let go, accept what is, and step out in faith. And so we let it be, and so it is. Amen. As we wiggle our fingers and wiggle our toes, we might roll our head, we come present to the room now as we prepare to say today's affirmation. Together, surrendering to God, I am safe and fulfilled. And so it is.